And then I don't want any rice, and so Dad didn't get any either. There you go. Just when you don't want it. That's not fair.
And start the recording. Okay. Not this coming weekend, the weekend of the 31st, we're going to be updating child tracks. And there's 3 main changes we're making. And the whole point of this webinar is to go over these changes.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
The echo is being heard.
Okay, we're doing a release, not this weekend, but the weekend of the 31st. And the 3 main changes, and the reason we're doing this webinar, the reason we're getting so much information out to you, is because we don't want your case managers and your supervisors to freak out Monday morning when they come in and log in and they see something different. We have write-ups. I know Jason sent out the manuals and everything, and I did a Word document on the difference between the case manager's homepage, the old one and the new one. I'm finalizing the supervisor one today, so it'll go out either later this afternoon or first thing Tuesday morning. And it's these changes are taking place because we're getting ready to get child tracks to where it's fully functional on tablets. It works on tablets right now, but one of the things you can't do on a tablet, you can't hover. Okay, so if you try to hover, it won't work. You won't, unless you're like lightning quick, you can't select one of these things on a tablet. So these new pages are totally 100% compatible with the tablet. Okay, now on the screen,
Show your screen too.
let me show it. Okay, on the screen, I'm going to have the old caseworker page side by side with the new. This is actually supervisor's page. We'll start with supervisor's page with the new supervisor's page. Matt, what system are you on?
We're on research.
Why isn't this the new?
I just logged in through Zoom. I didn't go directly to it. You remember you got to type in the address?
No, it's set as the default now.
Oh, I mean, I just logged in.
Great. Oh, I see why. Give me a second. I'm pulling up the new supervisor homepage. Okay, this is the new supervisor homepage. And this is the old one. Now this screen, this is an indicator thing we're working on. Eventually this will be released too, where as a regional director or a director or somebody higher up in your organization can get stats to pull right up when they log in. So I'm going to switch this one to the supervisor homepage. Okay, and then I'm going to pull up the old supervisor homepage here in just one second, so I can show you the differences between the new and the old. Okay, so the new one's on the left. It's over here. The old one's on the right, and it's over here. So on the old supervisor homepage, all your navigation was done right down the left side, okay? And these things is what was causing problems on tablets. So on the new supervisor homepage, everything's hidden under this menu. To pull the menu out, you just click on it, and it's going to pull it out from the left side. Now, when you pick what you want to do, if you want to get rid of the menu, you can click anywhere over here to hide again, or you can click on the menu icon itself to hide that menu. So what we're going to do on the supervisor page real quick is run down these things, and we'll show you where they're at over here. And like I said, I'm finalizing the write-up on this. It's a Word document. It's very clear. It just shows you where they were and where they are now. And you'll be getting that, like I said, either later this afternoon or Tuesday morning. So let's start with the dashboard. There's 2 ways. If you navigate away from the dashboard on the system, let's say you go to caseworker status page, and you want to get back to your dashboard, there's 2 ways to get back to it. You can always click on your home page. If the supervisor home page is your home page, you can always click on that house, and it'll take you back to your dashboard. If you're somewhere else and you don't want to click on the house and it's not your home page, then you come right back to the menu, pick dashboard, and it'll reload your dashboard for you. Okay, so that's the first link on the old one. Now all this stuff is going to get very, very monotonous because all this stuff works the same way to some extent. But I also want to show you what opens in new windows and why we did certain things in new windows and why we did certain things here. So we're going to step down through each one very quickly on the supervisor homepage. Next thing is contact check. When you click on contact check, now you can pick your case manager. The functionality is the same. The way everything works is the same, other than some things might open in a new page and some things might not. So that's the same as it worked when you did it this way. Okay? Just a new way of getting to it. Okay, the next thing is progress notes check. So when you click on the old one, it expands out to case managers. When you click on the new one, there's your case manager. So you pick the case manager you want. You got to make sure you click on them. Pick the one on the old one. You can hide that menu again, and it's the same thing. Okay, next thing is client care. When you click, now this is kind of nice on the new one. You have to do a lot of scrolling to get this stuff at the bottom under client care. So on the new one, if you get back to the main menu, yeah, let me point that out too. If you're from a sub menu and you go away, to get back to the new menu, you just click up here and you're back to that main menu. Okay, so now when you click on client care, here's all your items. Notice how you're not scrolling the whole screen, you're just scrolling the menu. Okay, and if you pick an item, it works the same way as it did on the old one. You hide that menu, and it's the same way. Okay, the next item is incomplete items. Now, on this one, so if you click on this, you just get a list of your incomplete items. On the new supervisor homepage, that's just part of your dashboard. So you don't even have to do nothing to find those. Same way with client care as part of your dashboard. It was on the old one too. So there's not a link for incomplete client care items. They're on here. So you just look at them. Home requirements and parent requirements. Let's look at those real fast. So we come in here to the requirements. We click the arrow to the right, and it's going to open up this sub-menu. So here's your home requirements. If I pick home requirements, close that menu. If I come down here, oh, wrong one, home requirements, we have the same thing. So, okay, the next item, parent, same thing. I can just quickly switch to parents, and now I'm looking at the parent requirements. Okay, the next thing is pending tasks. So let me go back to the main menu. Pending tasks, we don't have a link for because it's on your dashboard. There's no reason to, you can do everything you need to do from here. So pending tasks is no longer a menu option because it's on your dashboard. Same with to-do tasks. It's on your dashboard, so there's not a menu item for that. Next thing, caseworker status. The next three, caseworker status, caseworker assignments, and caseworker minimum standards. If you click on the word caseworker, you can go to status, and you're going to see the same thing you did on your old one. Now, if you want to switch to assignments, just click on assignments. Now you're on assignments. And then if you want to switch to minimum standards, now you're at your minimum standards screen. You guys watch. Make sure nobody's asking any questions here. Okay, the next thing is incidents. So we go back to the main menu, client incidents. Again, if anybody joined late, the main change on the supervisor homepage was all the navigation was done here, and there's problems on tablets when we do things the old way. So the main change, I'm just rehashing this for anybody that joined the webinar late. The main change is all these items now are hidden under this menu bar. All right, so everything's embedded in and we condensed the list. Instead of giving you like all three of these things on the main menu, these are all caseworker things, so they're hidden under caseworkers. Okay, so let's get back to incidents. Again, click on incidents, and it's going to look the same way the old one did. So let's keep moving. Service contact billing. It still works the same way. Again, click over here, click on the menu to move that menu out of your way, and you got full page. That was the other thing, because tablets have limited real estate on their screen that we can work with. You know, if you were doing this on a tablet, this becomes real small. Well, now you can hide that menu on a tablet and still have your full tablet screen to be doing your job. Okay, report date range. Well, the next thing on here is service contact billing. We just did face sheets. Okay, same way. Pick the caseworker, and it's going to open in a new window. Notice up here in a new tab, and it's going to open up your face sheets. Now, I'm not going to wait on that to keep going because we got a lot of ground to cover fairly quick. User requirements is next on the old sheet. That was under requirements, and it's right here. So you can get to your user requirements and manage those. Next thing on the supervisor page was report date range start page. I'm not going to click on this because they do exactly what you know they do. Well, actually, let me click on it. Again, it opens in a new tab. All right, so when you're done, just close that tab and you're right back to your supervisor homepage. Let's see, user requirement. Respite tools. Same thing, click on it. Which respite report do you want to run? And the last thing is foster care tools. And here's your foster care tools. Okay, so that's the supervisor homepage. Now, I'm going to switch these to a caseworker's homepage and go through the differences that your caseworkers are going to see Monday morning. Okay, so this is the old caseworker homepage is on the right, the new one's on the left. All right, and we'll start with the global jump to menu. We're going to start with the global jump to menu. Let me scoot this over a little bit so we can see it in its entirety. Okay, so the first thing on the old jump to is collateral contacts and collateral contact log. So your case managers, if they want to get that, they come over here, and there's the word collateral, and here they are. And they work the same way. The way all this stuff works has not changed. It's just how you get to it. Now you're going, and I know we don't like people to be redundant, but I'm probably going to say that four or five more times. Okay, the next items on the global jump to are the to-do multiple and to-do list. Again, same thing. Here's to-do multiple and to-do list. Okay, next thing on the jump to menu is there's 4 reports here. These are really nothing more than reports. So on the new caseworker page, if we have reports, here they are. Now let's go ahead and hit one of these. They open in the window that to the right. Okay, and then the next part is their old navigation drop-down list. This piece. Now, one big change, and it shows on the old page too, and I should have started with this. Let me get back to the dashboard on the new one. If you notice, we only had 3 tabs on here before for your caseworkers. We had client care, we had pending tasks, and to-do tasks. That's all they had on their old page. Okay, we added these other 3. What I did, one night I came up here and I took a couple hours and I went through all like, I don't know, 45 pages of logs. And I was looking to see what caseworkers did mainly on child tracks each and every day. Well, 80% of what they do, they can do right here from their dashboard. And we accomplish that by adding client care incomplete, contacts, and progress behavior. So when they log in every day, 80% of what they do on any given day can be done right from their dashboard, and they never have to leave it. Okay? So that was a big change I forgot to mention when we got started. So now let's get through this drop down. The very first thing on it is dashboard. It just returns them to their dashboard. Here it is. And again, if this is their home page, they can click on the home icon and it will take it back to their dashboard also. Okay, the next thing is client care priority list. It's here. It's on their dashboard. All right. They don't have all this did when they clicked on client care, priority list, client care incomplete, contact check, pending tasks, or due to tasks. All it did was gave them a view that was identical to what was on the tabs. So we got rid of those. We're not cluttering up their menu now with things that was redundant from the dashboard. This dashboard was very, very key. When we talked about doing this, I told the team that I want to minimize what caseworkers have to do navigationally to get their jobs done. So that's what made us look and see what all the caseworkers do. And guys, I'm not ignoring you all. It's just 85% of the stuff done on child tracks are done by caseworkers. So that's why they're the biggest single user on child tracks, and I really want to simplify what they were doing. So, okay, so those things are gone. Now, foster home requirements and foster parent requirements on the new caseworker homepage, just click on requirements, and there they are. So if they want to look at the foster parent requirements, they can do that, and there's the foster parent requirements. The respite tools, the respite reports are still here. They're just under the word respites. And then here's the biggest change. All right, we've covered the jump to, we covered everything down to where their clients are. Now, what I'm getting ready to show you is really, really, I think it's cool. I've been wanting this for a long time, and we finally got it here. So now, how do they get to one of their clients to start working on the client? Okay, on the old way, they just clicked on the client's name, and then this is Jared's stuff. The new way, they click on the word placements, okay? And then we built this census page. This census page is available right here. Foster care census, residential census, and services census. So the supervisor, if you wanted to see this, you can come here and open this and it'll be on your full screen. Okay, so now here's their kids, okay? One of the reasons we have all this stuff in parentheses is to help case managers further identify information about this kid. Well, we wanted to get away from that. So now we have the kid. This is the kid's alias name. But now we show you the home, who's paying for them, what's their level of care. If they need to enter a bed hold, they can quickly click on this and enter a bed hold for Jared Anderson. If there's any critical incidents that have not been completed, you'll see the letter CI here, and these are clickable, so you can actually click that. Don't worry about that error. We're doing some other testing right now, but it does open up. It'll open up the incident form so they can review it. Then once the incidents are marked completed, it goes away. If they need to add a new medication, they just click on that, and they can add the medication. Same way with bed holds. If they click on it, they can actually add the bed hold. If they want to view the referral that led to this placement, they click on the word referral, and here's the referral. Okay, and then authorizations. Now, some of these links, they got to have the right security permissions. Like authorizations, they're not going to be able to go in there. They'll be able to see them, but they won't be able to add or edit them. But there is a security component to this too. Okay, now there's a little magnifying glass over here. We want to be able to quickly show them additional information. So if they click on that little magnifying glass, there's some additional information that pops up. It's just stuff we thought they would like to see that would help them in the course of doing their jobs. Now, to get to this page, they just click on the name. Same way as they did the old way. Here's that page. When they're done working it, they just close it, and they're back to this census page. Okay, now I'm going to unmute everybody, and I'm going to give you just a few seconds if you have any questions about the caseworker homepage or supervisor homepage. I mean, we're doing good on time. Actually, we're doing real good on time. So we'll just take a minute for questions here. Okay, now everybody should be unmuted. Is there any questions right now? Okay. I'll take that as a no, so I'm going to keep moving on then. So now, one of the next big changes is the login process. The state of Texas and 2 other states were concerned about the ability of people with higher security privileges being able to see the password of their staff. So we had to change how users log into ChildTrax. And I'm going to explain the change first, then we'll go look at it. There is no longer usernames required. The user name that they'll log in with is going to be their email address. Every one of your staff has to have an email address, a unique email address. Now, for our residential customers, if you have 3 direct service staff in a cottage and you want them all to use the same email address, you can do that. However, if you do that, and let's say it was Brad, Matt, and Paul were the direct service staff in there, direct service staff in that cottage, you're not going to know who entered what based off of the username, because we're all going to have the same username and password. So keep that in mind. We had to do this. We didn't have an option. We were either going to do this or we weren't going to be allowed to service partners in those states that had a concern with this. So first part of this change is that the user name becomes their email address. The second part is nobody, well, there's multiple parts. The second piece is that nobody in your organizations, including us, all right, I can't tell what Brad's password is, and Brad can't tell what my password is, all right? Nobody, not even our developers, can go in and find somebody's password now. They're strictly encrypted by the system itself. Now, that some of you are probably out there thinking, oh, great, what do I do when somebody doesn't remember their password? Well, it's not that bad. Now, I'm going to close these windows, and I'm going to just go to one window. If one of your staff calls you and says, oh, I don't know my password, you're just going to go to that staff, and I'm going to pick on Matt this time. Matt, are you not in here?
I don't yet. No, I've been using you.
Oh, well, I'm going to pick on myself this time.
Here.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go to my self details page, okay? Now, when you click on user details, here's what you're going to see now. You're going to notice there's nowhere to find a username. There's going to be a user address or an email address, and that's what people are logging in with. Now, if they forgot their password, all you have to do is click this change password button. ChildTrax will send them an email immediately. They have 8 hours. There's a link on the email. They have 8 hours to click on that link and reset their password, okay? Now, if 8 hours goes by and they haven't done it and they wait 14 hours, you're going to have to send them a new email, but you're going to want to tell them, hey, deal with this immediately, okay? So that's the first thing. Now, every user also, with this little gear up here, let's say they did forget their password, but they want to change it. Well, they can click on this gear. They can come to user details for themselves, and they can click on this button. Again, the system's going to email them a link. And in that link is the system's going to shoot them an email, and in the email is a link. And if they click on the link, it'll be the password change screen. They'll be able to go there and change that password, their own passwords themselves. So that's how supervisors control it. Now let me show you the login page. Here's what the login pages look like. Now, all of y'all don't start clapping when I say this. Notice there's no place for a remote code. Remote codes are not needed anymore. You can go to Europe. If you can get on the internet, you can log in with your email address and your password. This is a glorious day for us. These remote codes always cause people to stumble. We get a lot of service requests around remote codes, so we're very, very happy. Now, if you're worried about security that was lost because we're not doing IP verifications, the password changes we made. The only reason we had the IP verification before because we didn't require complex passwords. Okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and log in here. We're going to pick a different user. Oh man,
What's his name?
yeah, Chris Jones.
Yeah.
But I need a way to show them how when you're trying to change the password, we actually need to. Is your email up, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Brad,
that's
we're gonna change Brad's email. We're gonna do a password change on Brad, and then Brad, you're gonna forward that email to Matt so I can pull the email over here, show him how the link works, and so on and so forth. So now we're gonna actually demonstrate this whole process because there's something else that's changed in regards to passwords that you guys absolutely need to know. What I'm getting ready to do is change Brad. Brad's our new service and support guy too. And I don't know if y'all know, Matt got a new job at the University of Dayton. That was kind of a not so known college before the last NCAA basketball tournament, but it's the same university. So now I click the password, so Brad's going to be receiving an email that is active for 8 hours, and it's going to be the password change email. He's going to forward it to Matt's PC. I'm working on Matt's PC right now, and then I will pull it over and show you the email. And we're going to click on the link, and we're going to actually walk through what happens when you change a password. No more easy passwords, all right? You can't use call as a password. Now, you can still make something that's meaningful to you, but the system is actually going to make it meaningful. So now here's that email that Brad got, all right? And it says, click on the link below to set your password. So we're going to click on this, and it opened up this screen, okay? So now let's read this real quick. As you type your new password, you will be shown how strong the password is. You must achieve a value of strong or very strong before you will get a save button, okay? The strength is based on the length, use of upper and lowercase letters, use of numbers, and special characters. When both values match and the strength is achieved, the save button will appear. If I try to put in here call, I'm not even going to get a save button, okay? Now, if I put in here call underscore with a capital H Hanrahan, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I double clicked the key. Let me do it again. And then I repeat that password down here. Notice how the words are hidden. It's telling you whether it's strong or weak. So now let me try another one. I'm going to do 1961 /10/24 underscore call 1, 2, 3. I did it wrong order. It's saying strong. All right, now I'm typing these differently because I don't want you to see the save button yet. I've been double bumping keys and stuff, so it has to match before you even see the save button. So let me go ahead and type in a real one that I would like, something I would use. Actually, Brad, I want you. This is your password. You type it in. I'm gonna let Brad type in because we're changing his password on our research system, so I want him to set it for himself. Notice how the words are changing over here as he types the password. And now, once he got them the same, and once he got strong or very strong, then the save button shows up. Okay? And then once you click the save, his password has been changed, and the next time he goes to log in, he has to use his new password. So that is the login process. So, let me rehash what we just went over on the login process. As of Monday, June, what is it the first, guys? Second. Monday, June 2nd, people will have to start logging in with their email addresses and their current password. Their current password will stay in effect until you change them or until they change them. So if it's Paul presently, or being a little graceful, it can stay Paul until they either request a change or you request a change. And then as of June 2nd, if you're not in your normal office and you're outside of the office, you do not need the remote code. There's your caseworkers, your administrators, licensing people at any time, then click this button, click on user details, and they'll be able to go in and change, request a password change. Nowhere on ChildTracks can you set a password without hitting this button, and then it's a link with that window that Brad just used to change his password. So that is the new login process. So June 2nd, those are the 3 major changes. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick update. Next Tuesday or Wednesday, you're going to be receiving a document from Jason again. I'm still writing it. There's other changes coming with this release. They're all minor changes. A lot of them you all been asking for. We got a lot of them done, so you'll get a complete listing of the other stuff. They did not affect usability like these 3 did. That's why we're only covering these 3 things on the webinar. We're trying to make these webinars like every 2 months on a consistent basis, and we're trying to select a relevant topic. It was just the timing of this one was perfect with the release. What we're going to promise you going forward when we have a major release like this, we will not do it without a 2-week notice and without a webinar going over the changes. I know sometimes these changes can just throw you for a loop. We always send out the information, but we're trying to get better at letting you guys prepare a little better for the changes. So right now we have that as a 2-week definition. And then what we'll try to do is like a month out, we'll just send you a list of things, and then you'll get the details right before the release. So I know we scheduled this for an hour. I wasn't sure how long it was going to take. I'm going to go ahead and hit the unmute button. And then if you have any questions, we can ask, or you can ask them now.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah?
We're at
I think this is Chester, but the echo's really, really bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if the
Casey's talking.
yeah, the echo's really bad. While we do this, we'll go ahead and end the meeting, and then just call us directly with your questions. You all have our phone numbers. We'll wait. All of us are here. Wait. We'll figure out how to handle this mute things on future ones.